Hello and good evening. Welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult content so you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. Okay, tonight we're going to be continuing our Goetic series with the 35th Spirit of the Goetia. Um, Marchosia is how I've always pronounced it. Some people pronounce it a little different, so I will be using Marchosia just so you all know that. Um, And if you all are new here, this is our first part of the series that is going to be live. We're going to try and do these live. That way, perhaps we can take some questions toward the end if we have any or we have time. Do keep all questions on topic. Okay. Violet Star, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, let's get into this. We'll follow the same formula we always have. Now, since I can't put certain things on the screen, like I'm going to show the sigil, I got it here on my phone so I can show you all. As far as the I will be putting that in the show notes and the descriptions below so you can look them up there and see how they're spelt if you wish to use them. Again, they're never necessary or needed, but here we go. All right, we usually start with the original description or appearance of the entity. Sometimes it's vague, sometimes the details are better. This one's pretty good. The appearance of Marchosia is appears as a wolf with large wings spewing fire. Pretty straightforward there. Then takes the form of a strong man. Pretty easy. That's actually one of the better ones, I have to agree. And actually, this one I would have to say, in my experience, I've seen the wolf, I've seen the spewing fire, I've seen the wings, and I have seen him show up as a strong man. I've never actually seen him show up as the wolf in transition before the evocation and everything began. That's just me. Different magicians have varying things on that, of course. So that's just my 2 cents personally. All right. Now, the basic correspondence, if people want it, that we've been going through. First off, in the Goetia, Marchosias's rank is Marquis. Say that 5 times fast. The metal most associated with this spirit is silver. The planet most associated with this spirit is the moon. The color most associated with this particular spirit of the Goetia is violet. And the element association is fire. So pretty straightforward and normal for that. Also, for those who don't know, we do have a locals community now. You can find it at workingdragonmystic.com. At the top of the tab, you'll see Working Dragon Mystic Layer. That's our local community. If you like what we're doing and you want to learn more, you want to go deeper into it and ask more questions and have discussions we can't have here, consider supporting us over at locals. Also, we do have an online school. Again, that can be found at workingdragonmystic.com. You'll see a tab for online courses. Click that. It'll show you the courses, again, for deeper topics, including an evocation course, which the Goetic demons are included with, or Goetic spirits, whatever you want to refer to them as. I just want to remind you that. Also, here at the live streams, we do have super chats. If you want to support us that way, feel free. Any super chat of $5 or more is entered into a spell working I do on every Monday for health, wealth, prosperity. There you go. All right, back to it. Now, the big thing, anytime you're working with a spirit or evoking it for whatever reason, you're generally going to want to know what is it that this spirit is known to be good at. Okay? Now, I've said it many times. You can go to most deities for anything. They're not limited to the box we put them in. But they do have a reputation, and the Goetic spirits definitely have a reputation for where they can help. So the areas in which this particular spirit is good at helping. The original one in the Goetia was warrior to aid in your fights. That could mean a lot. That could be vague. That could be broad. There's a lot that could mean. But a lot of people also, it's like, I don't need a warrior fighting my fights for me in the modern age. I might argue that to a point, but I get you. I get you. So what are some of the bullet points that mages are working with this spirit in the modern day and using it to be very applicable? The first one, and I like this one, teach coping skills. This is one I have had Clients come to me a lot, and this spirit has helped a lot when it comes to coping skills. We have a trend in this day and age where fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer people have any form of coping skills. Um, and sometimes they don't even know it. Sometimes they think they have them and they don't. And sometimes even the ones with the coping skills can trip and fall into a bad place. I was one of those. I hit a dark spot in my life and I was not coping well because all the coping skills I had in my life didn't prepare me for that one dark pit. So because of that, I actually did turn to entities for some help. And this particular spirit is one of the ones that helped me quite a bit with those coping skills. And actually is one I'm still working with to this day on certain issues, because I have found, like many of you know, I'm working right now to get back in shape, lose some weight, all those things. And the food and the eating I've been doing really good on. Where I fall into a hole is if I'm not constantly working and staying busy, I will eat out of boredom if I don't have something to do. And one of the things I'm trying to do this year, unfortunately, is be a little less workaholic. So Marchosias is helping me balance that out quite a bit. And I'm very, very thankful for that. The next one is learn to control your temper. I think everyone could use this. I really do. Having a temper is not a bad thing per se. It can give you drive. It can give you focus. Those things are true. But it can also control you, or other people can use your temper to control you. In those cases, it's bad. So if you have a temper, which everyone has a temper to some extent, regardless of what extent you have it, you at all times need to be in control. You need to be choosing your actions, and you need to be choosing them thoughtfully and logically, not out of emotion. Okay. Let the temper empower you, not control you. And he can teach this. It is a fascinating lesson plan. I had other mentors and everything help me with my temper when I was younger. But there are days and times when those mentors are no longer with me, and I could use a refresher, and I do turn to this spirit. So this is one of the spirits I seem to be turning to a lot these days for things like that. All right, the next area this spirit is known to be good at is to help empower your negotiations. I mean, that's pretty straightforward to me. Any type of negotiation, whatever you're negotiating, whatever you're discussing, this one can help empower it. Now, some people have asked me, what does it mean to empower negotiations? Well, on the very surface, it means that your side of the negotiation is going to have more weight. You're going to have more effective negotiations. How that takes place, though, could come in different ways. Your words could hold more power. Your presence could hold more power. You could gain insight on the better way. Just like natural insight will come to you on how to better deal with the individual you're speaking with. All kinds of different things can manifest through this, sometimes subtly, sometimes not so subtly. But myself and many others and clients actually have found this one very, very useful. Next one is empower and aid in workings aimed at prosperity. Booyah. Okay. Any work you're doing in the world to build your prosperity, anything, this entity can help ramp that up. Are you doing magic? Well, he can add more to that to ramp that magic up. You can just work with him in evocation for prosperity. Are you actively investing? Are you saving? Are you doing it? He can help make those things go farther. I know it sounds weird. This is another entity I've worked with in the past, and some of my clients have. And one of my clients actually told me that she was working with him, and somehow, some way, it seemed like her budget got stretched further than it should. It always seemed like she had everything budgeted, and she would end up with, she had it budgeted, so she knew where she should end at the end of the month. But every month, she had more money than she should. and she never could quite figure out what was stretching it, where that was coming from. She could only accredit him, which I thought was pretty cool. And some people would say coincidence. That's fine. It was happening for her month after month. Maybe she missed a digit in her math. I don't know. But it does appear that was at least what she said. And that's all we can go by. I can say, as far as prosperity work, the 35th Spirit of Goetia has been very, very helpful for myself and other individuals and clients I have. Next one is cause a person you name to see you as successful in all matters. Okay, this one's a bit more illusionary. This one kind of almost falls under the old saying, fake it till you make it, if you've ever heard that. Some people's like, I don't understand this. Okay, well, let's say you're applying for a job and you have a little experience, but you don't have quite as much experience as you think they might be looking for. This particular use could actually push you over the edge to ramp you up and make you look like you have that experience. They will perceive you as having that experience and that skill and that success. It could also just, I've seen people use this in dating to pick individuals up. They will go and they will use this to make themselves appear more successful than they are as a glamour, which you're usually going to find more shallow dates that way in my mind, but they have had success with it. It's about appearing successful. Now, I would say that if you are working to grow yourself into true success or prosperity or anything like that, it works better. I really do think it works better in that case. If you have a goal to be truly successful rather than just lie about it, I think it does work better. Some people would disagree with me, but that's just my 2 cents on that. All right. Next thing we got is the sigil. Let me get that yanked up here. Now, this is, I tested the camera earlier to make sure you all are seeing it right. There you go. As you can see, it's just like the other sigils, name around it in loops, though this is a slightly longer name. But pretty cool sigil all in all. I've always thought that the wavy lines look like 2 Ks with a cross in the middle. That's just my 2 cents. There you go. We got that. All right. Now that brings us to the un. Again, there is no one true un for any entity. There's this concept that there is only one un. There's not. There's hundreds of uns, and they're all man-made. You might have asked someone might have asked the spirit to give them an un or an incantation, and they did, but it's not like a one true un. It's something that entity gave, and maybe they give them permission to share it, but it's not much more than that. And a lot of them are genuinely man-made. Your sigil had no 40. No, there's not a 40. The 40 is that's actually from the Goetia. So that 40, you are correct. The 40 would not be there. It would just be the circle. I couldn't take that out. Sorry about that. Good catch, though. Good catch. You're right. The 40 shouldn't be there. Then, I don't know. Maybe he likes drinking 40s. I don't know. Anywho. All right. So this let's see if I can get this, because I've got a cough drop in my mouth, which is probably dumb, knowing that I'm going to have to say an un. So here we go. It's Esna Ayer Marchosias Secore. Esna Ayer Marchosias Secore. Esna Ayer Marchosias Secore. Not too bad, actually. I thought I was going to screw that up a lot worse. And again, don't worry. I will have the typed out version in the description below. After the stream, I'll upload that to make sure it's down there for you all. Okay. Unfortunately, it won't let me put the sigils down there, but you can always just Google the name of the spirit and sigil, and you'll probably find it. And since you saw it, you'll know you're finding the right one also. So easy peasy there. All right. My experience with this spirit. honestly, I think we've touched on everything that I've done with this. I do know I use this spirit a lot when working with clients about um, coping skills and workings aimed at prosperities. Those are big ones, and helping with job interviews and the like when it comes to negotiations. Those are all probably the major areas that I'm used to working with this particular spirit um, for myself and with clients. Now, one of the ones that I've worked with myself, but I've also started to find new uses for, is the temper one. It is listed as a temper, but I have found that you can stretch that and adjust that a little bit. So I know a lot of individuals who, that makes no sense. Um, I know a lot of individuals who have PTSD, for example, and PTSD can cause a lot of issues. And because of that, I find that the coping skill bullet point, as well as the temper one, comes in handy. Because, first off, PTSD, you're going to need some coping skills, but it also makes people more irritable to a lot of extents many times. So I have found that when it comes to PTSD, this is a really good spirit to work with in many of those symptoms, if possible. So something to consider if that may be you. All right. All right. Real quick before we get going, because that is the end of the notes. These are always such easy videos, and yet they're also so useful to have. Any questions real fast? Let's see, give everybody time to type a question if they got it. Again, I'll remind everybody that we do have the locals community, and it really is nice to have the community support the work we do here. Let's be honest, social media is a little unreliable, so it's always a good way to make sure the channel's supported, to make sure we are able to keep doing the content we're doing, as well as, over there, a supporter, you get free workshops, you get access to supporter only videos. We got all kinds of supporter content, giveaways. We make sure we give back to the supporters a lot over there. Live streams that are supporter only that allow us to discuss topics we cannot discuss anywhere else, and areas of magic, honestly and truly, that are not YouTube friendly. So it's been a real great resource to have. Okay, so no questions. Then I think after my commercial, I think we'll just head on out. You all have a fantastic night. I will make sure when I get off here to post the type down on below, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, everyone, have a great evening. Good night. Take care.